Hi guys, my name is Chelsea and I'm an artist. I write and I paint, and I've spent a lot of my time writing and then painting, and they've been deeply fulfilling and satisfying experiences. And recently I've felt really inspired to not just share what I've written and what I've painted, but also to really get into it and talk about my journey writing and my journey in painting, and just ultimately realizing that it's sharing my intimate journey into discovering who I am and exploring who I am, and this in and of itself, sharing and making these videos, it feels like an entirely new expression of who I am. And earlier this week I wrote a piece that I feel really encompasses the inspiration that I've been feeling. So this is it. I am emptying the treasury of mine existence. I am done bargaining, for gods do not bargain. I will no part of me will any longer deny its true source of nourishment. In the raw nature of mine autonomy, I hereby empty the treasury of mine existence. I breathe the goddess's fire. I expel the goddess's fire. No part of me hereafter stands in my way. Today I live in the honor of honoring the absolute. So it feels like a lot that I want to share, a lot I want to talk about a lot of my experiences, and this inspiration, this idea, it started unfolding maybe like a couple weeks ago, when I was thinking about my paintings. I have 2 painting collections, and I just kept seeing myself just sitting down with each of these paintings and talking about inspiration, the creating process of it. And then as time passed, the idea expanded, and I saw myself just sitting and talking about my books. I've written a couple books of poetry and prose over these past couple of years, and I just felt that I wanted to sit and I wanted to talk about my experience writing these books, and share some of the pieces from these books, and then after I felt that inspiration, I was like, this is more than a video. This is just an entirely new expression of who I am, and it feels like a lot right now, but I'm just gonna take it one day at a time, one video at a time. So I felt that today I could start talking about my writing journey, and I could share with you guys the first book that I wrote, and it's called Freeing the Goddess Within. And I think that I wrote this book in around 2019, 2020, and at the time I shared it with just some of the people that are close to me. Okay, so how I wanted to do this, I wrote a couple notes here. So I wanted to choose some pieces from the books that I've written and just to share the experience in and of itself of writing it. So Freeing the Goddess Within. I have so many thoughts running through my mind right now. I'm like, where do I start? So at the time, I compiled all the pieces that I was writing and I put it into book format, and I wrote a little piece about the book. So this is what it is. I wrote Freeing the Goddess Within during 2019-2020. This book embodies the experience of discovering my voice and how dearly I adored expressing the unconditional and intimate depths of my soul, of myself. This book embodies the experience of not just discovering my innate and natural passion for expressing the truth of who I am, but also my innate necessity to express myself. This book embodies those moments of discovering for the first time the treasure of experiencing the deep silences of who I am. That no matter the depth of the emotion that was flowing forth from me, I was held in a place of soft serenity, free to express myself unconditionally. And I wrote this piece about how I wanted the reader to experience the book. So I said, I want you to relax and enjoy reading this book. Every moment that you read a piece and you feel something of yourself, enjoy those feelings. Every moment that you read a piece and you hear your own voice, get a book or go into the notes app on your phone and write those thoughts, for those are even more valuable than the words on these pages. Every moment that you read a line or a piece and everything stops in that moment and you just feel you intimately, underline it, highlight it, savor in it. I want you to intimately experience yourself as you read this book. I want you to feel softly heard and seen and known and understood, and feel the soft empowerment of your soul flowing through you. How effortlessly and naturally the wholeness of you simply exists and pulsates through and through you. I want you to feel how naturally and effortlessly alive you are in this very moment. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. So when I just started writing, there was actually a movie that inspired me, that really inspired me, and it's called Mary Shelley. And I remember one night I was just looking for a movie to watch, and I think I was just looking for something in the romance category, and it came up, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And just everything about that movie connected with me and resonated with me in such a deep way. It was the dialogue from the characters, it was the music, it was the story, and it was just one of those movies that really came at the right time for me, and I felt that it reflected the fire that I felt inside myself for expressing who I am and speaking my truth. So that was one of the first inspirations that I had, and it was one, I feel that at the time it was just like a glimpse into what inspiration felt like, and how freaking abundant inspiration is, and it's just flowing all the time in movies, in music, in art, in conversations. Like it's just there. So I wanted to read some pieces from Freeing the Goddess Within, and I chose five pieces to read. So we're gonna read some stuff now. Let's see. So this one is called Pen to Paper, and hopefully I find it soon. Pen to paper. It's literally the second one. Pen to paper. There's a magic when I put pen to paper like I have never known. It must be like dancers dancing and singers singing, for it feels as though I surrender and allow the vastness of this universe to flow through me. There's a peaceful quietness when I reach the depths of my soul. It reveals truths within myself that set me free. It is bare, it is naked, it is stripped down, to unveil a soul that has been eagerly awaiting. Oh, what a joyful spirit. It is here, there, and everywhere, filled with a curiosity for this life. And the end. It's funny because it really encapsulates what my experience is rising is now. It's the same. There's a peaceful quietness where I can reach the depths of my soul. It reveals truths within myself that set me free. It is bare, it is naked, it is stripped down, to unveil a soul that has been eagerly awaiting. Oh, what a joyful spirit. And what I love about this, it shows how abundant spirit is. It shows how infinite spirit is, because I still experience this in my rising endlessly, and it's such an intimate experience, such an intimate and fulfilling experience for me. So the next piece that I'm going to read, it's called 450 steps. 450 steps. So this is inspired from a dream that I had. And again, when I started rising, it was this whole culmination of new experiences. And in this case, I started having these dreams, and I would wake up and they would feel so intimately who I am. And I just had to sit and remember the dream, to remember the feelings, and I had to write it because I wanted to experience I wanted to experience it. And then the thing was is that when I sat to write it, it was like it revealed more of itself in those moments, and I got to see the story or the clarity that was unfolding real time. It was so new to me and yet so familiar to me because it felt so true to who I am. So the piece, 450 steps. On a narrow ledge she danced, hundreds of feet off the ground. Someone patiently counting her steps, 450. There was no fear, symbolic of her growing faith and trust. In her devotion to the divine, she is certain that she is graciously held in love. She feels the strong, powerful, divine energy. It is a love that proves to disbelievers God must be real, God must exist. She's discovering that she is bliss, and she fully welcomes it, for she dare not refuse a gift from God. On the ground below, she's entirely unaware of the presence of her love, but he has no need to let his love be known to her. He quietly loves her, grateful that his eyes can witness her blissful movements, her awakening. He quietly loves her, but his prayers for her are mighty and powerful. She must know her freedom, her light, her divinity. Maybe he wishes that he need not love quietly anymore. Maybe he wishes God misguides a step of hers and she falls off the ledge and into his arms, into his love. Maybe she knows of his quiet love. Maybe her heart holds the same prayer for him. Maybe for a second she recklessly abandons the rhythm of her movements. Maybe she knows that she will fall into his arms. But there is no maybe, for lovers full of such light are always destined to meet. I feel I can still feel it. I can still feel that feeling of just that fall. That fall. I can still feel that feeling of dancing on this narrow ledge, and it's just her innate balance, that there's no need to fear, and it's quite the polar opposite in that movement from her innate balance, from her innate rhythm. It's so natural to her. It's so natural to her.
Yeah.